Welcome, everyone. You're seeing us live, which of course means it's Wednesday. And not only means it's Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. Hence the name of the show, the High Noon Hemp Show. Very clever, I know. We were taking the internet by storm all these years later, telling you about hemp, entertaining you with hemp, giving you information, all that stuff every Wednesday, noon Eastern Time. Of course, you want the video live or on demand. You can do that on Facebook, Temptations Beach Facebook page. There's also the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel and at Temptations on Twitter. If you don't want all of this, well, that's your choice, but you're missing a lot. I'm just telling you the pictures, us, our hats, what we're wearing, the graphics, just everything. But if you just view
Everything.
the podcast, that's fine. We're not going to punish you for it too much, other than you're already being punished by not seeing what's going on. You find the podcast on Podbean, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. Just search the High Noon Hemp Show. I am Senator Jesus. I do various things on the interwebs, which you can search out if you so please. He is beached high above the Hemptations in Sharonville at the Hemp Quarters. How are things this week in the world of Temptations Beach?
It is true. I am high above the location. And hello, welcome to the show. Thank you. Um, Above the Sharonville location, it is true. I watch the YouTube feed, so I just got up there. Thank you, Leah. Hello, hello. For stopping in. Thanks everybody for being here. Things are pretty status quo, I would say, for a middle of February-ish time of year. That's for sure. I will have to say, I've got a pic of this banner that I recently picked up. Now, I'm almost 100% positive I already have one of these hanging up in one of the stores, probably the original store. This was made by American Hemp Mercantile back in the day. Best known for their bags and whatnot, as far as the products that they sold. I don't think they've been around for a while, but this was probably 20 years ago, and obviously perfect for the industry. If you were selling hemp products, you put this up on the wall. It clearly explains some things. And of course, it's on hemp canvas, which is the greatest thing. And I love that print that's on there. Honestly, it's super, super nice. And their stuff was super, super nice. I think it's so hard for me to say that I don't have any of their stuff. I mean, I have to have one of their bags somewhere. I feel like tucked in. It's kind of crazy that I don't. And we sold a lot of their stuff, no doubt about it. And they probably came up with a couple styles of hemp bags that still exist in the industry today, because they made them originally. I feel like, I do know some of my luggage is original American hemp. I'm going to have to dig some of that out, but I do have some American Hemp Mercantile goods somewhere. And so this was obviously hung somewhere. Looks like it got some water damage on top. So it's slightly used, which I love. I'm glad that it was hung up somewhere for people to see and view, from whoever I bought it from or wherever its life has been, probably over the last 20 years or so. So it's going to go into, I think, either the museum, or I might go ahead and send it out to one of the locations. Just try to make all the locations feel like they've been around for 26 years or so. And this is a good way of doing it, is to throw some of the stuff that's been around for at least 20 out there. So fun stuff. Yes, the meetups. I know it's we're gonna get back to them. I think it's gonna, it's a crazy scene right now. So yes, I agree. Hopefully, maybe we'll do one way or another. As far as the medical marijuana meetups is what I'm talking about, as you guys can see on the screen there, as the discussions are. It's true. There's been a gap. And I have missed a couple, but hopefully we're going to get back to that for sure. All right, let's get on with the product spotlight on the High Noon Hemp Show, as I like to say. 4 from the store, 1 from my door. I do not have any more this week. The first one is the newest, greatest line of 100% legal industrial hemp products, but this is actually legal D9 that's in here. And again, I want to make this perfectly clear that, this will be the biggest controversy of 2022 when it comes to industrial hemp, as we're already seeing with Delta 8. Okay. Well, guess what? You can have a legal amount of Delta 9 in industrial hemp, which means you have a legal amount of Delta 9 left, whatever you want to do with it. And all honesty, makes it completely legal. Farm Bill makes anything made from any byproduct made from industrial hemp, including extracts. It's very clear in the Farm Bill that, and again, it's the including extracts that was put in there, and it was put in there because of CBD, because we had to clarify, because the DEA and all these places, even in 2018, were still pulling shenanigans when it came to CBD stuff, in all honesty. And so the fact of the matter is the Farm Bill explicitly says, and any extracts, any byproducts and any extracts, which makes any extract that we can obtain from industrial hemp legal. This one contains, these have Delta 9 in them in a legal amount. So where you get the newest coming about, and I've shown a little bit of the products. HHC, there's THCO now. There are Delta 8, Delta 10, Delta 9 legal. Again, there's always been a full spectrum CBD products mean there is a legal amount of THC Delta 9 in that product. Okay. The only way to get away from that is the isolate, is to get a particular isolate. Well, when they isolate one thing, then they can isolate a bunch of others. And so once again, all extracted from the plant. So why not do something with it? This next product, and you know what I didn't do, what I have not done in all my discombobulated abilities, is print out my script. And I've been meaning to miss doing this for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. It was right down to the wire. This next product, of course, is something we've carried for a long time, which is the Queen City Hemp. But if you look in the right there, you will notice that they have a new flavor, limited edition flavor. And we might have to zoom in on that because I don't have my script.
Pink pineapple ginger.
That's right, pink pineapple. And pink pineapple is a thing, just like you have probably seen pink grapefruit or pink oranges or whatnot, but pink pineapple is obviously a thing. And so that is the new, that's the newest, greatest flavor from our local favorites, Queen City Hemp. And so that should be at all the locations. It should be at all the locations. So get in and get that. This next product is, that's right. I forgot these last week, and I talked about them for the Valentine's Day. And I even mentioned, as far as chocolates going online and going to Laura's. Here is, once again, I want to be clear, this is the non-CBD. So this has actual hemp seed made into the truffles, made into the chocolate wafers, from Kentucky beloved Laura's, or Laura, right there on the label. She has a standing reputation in the state of Kentucky of producing great food, natural, better, healthier stuff. And that all started with Laura's lean beef. If you're in Kentucky and you know about Laura's lean beef, that is Laura. She has sold the beef side of things, ironically, and moved on to hemp. not ironically, I suppose, and now does chocolates and whatnot with hemp, and then also the line of CBD products that we carry from them that I highlighted last week because we have a fresh batch of most of their stuff. Um, so get in and get yourself some Laura's, regardless of whether it's Valentine's Day or not. I mean, it's chocolate, right?
Right.
That's all I really got to say about that. um, I show the Radius toothbrushes. I got one of my biannual cleanings recently, and so I decided it was funny because he comes in and he's like, I understand, and it was a new guy, not my normal dentist. They brought this new guy in on Mondays because my normal dentist wasn't there, and he's like, I noticed that you don't take the toothbrush, or what kind of. I didn't ask me what kind of toothbrush I used, but I promptly informed him that I had a hemp toothbrush, and I'm not sure what he was picturing in his head. I was like, it's like 1,000 bristles because they're supposed to be, like highly bristles, and which makes them. They only have an option of being medium or soft as far as the heads go. The heads are replaceable, and the the handle part is the hemp composite, um, and so it's that's kind of funny. And I still have a tendency, and I feel like I don't know, after 26 years, I don't know if it should feel weird or not telling everyone when I have some hemp product whether they need to know or not. So anyway, that's why I'm showing you the Radius hemp composite toothbrushes that we have in the store. So that's 4 from the store. Now the one from my door, once again, this is actually kind of more than one from my door, but this bar stool, which has been redone with hemp fabric, is what I am currently sitting on, and what I sit on when I am at my desk, when I'm here at my office. Also in the photo, you'll notice my hemp towels because I always carry at least one hemp towel with me. That's the lesson I learned from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Always have a towel. And then the file folder boxes. So you see the file folders there. Those boxes, those standing boxes, are actually custom made file folder boxes. One is the extra length file folders, and then the one on the right there is just the regular 8.5 by 11, so to speak, file folder papers. And so those boxes are made out of hemp. And then, of course, actually, there's 4 things because you get a little corner of my desk. And then behind those boxes, you can see the back of my desk, which is also made out of hemp. So there's 4 from the store, 4 from my door on the product spotlight here on the High Noon Hemp Show. Thanks, everybody, for watching, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. Thank you for listening if you're enjoying the podcast later when that happens.
Yes.
Have you seen the hemp hall beds? I don't know if I've seen actually. Now, I've seen beds that are using hemp in them, but I don't know about those. So I might have to check into that one way or another. All right.
Brings us to the beachwear segment. The segment everybody waits for, the segment that they crave, if I can use that word. It's a strong word, but I think I can use it because, what's anybody going to do about it if I
Not
do
just
use
for
it?
White Castles.
That's right. We have what you crave right here on the High Noon Hemp Show. Beach tells you what he's wearing. And why does Beach tell you what he's wearing? Because I ask him straight out, what are you wearing, Beach?
I feel like I'm obligated to answer the question because
Right.
it's true. Every week it's placed in my lap. What
It'd
are
be
you
silly
wearing?
if you didn't.
That's
If I
right.
asked you, no, we're not talking about that this week.
Yeah. I would look around disheveled, honestly. I'd be like, I don't know, whatever it is, it's all disheveled, just like me. One of my all-time favorite hats, because this hat was definitely a conversation starter back in the day when they came out with it. But this is an old head case hat, and it says, "Warning: Do not smoke this cap." And so, one of the questions that I got quite a bit early in the days, and even semi recently, is, can you smoke it? And no, you cannot smoke. Well, I mean, and my answer is always actually yes. With a big enough lighter, you can smoke anything. Will it get you high? No. It would probably kill you with some type of asphyxiation or lung something. But anyway, so the warning, do not smoke this cap, was, you know, uh, very apropos back in the day, and one of my favorites to wear. I feel like this is another one of those hats where I have one of these somewhere that looks like I've worn it 1,000 times, and then I have this one in the closet that looks like I have not worn it a whole lot. Because that's what I would do with my favorite hats of all time, was make sure I had one I could wear a lot, and then one that I could keep in good condition. So anyway, hemp hoodlam jacket. It is back to being cold here in the Cincinnati high state area again. Hemp Heritage shirt, taking a little Hemp Heritage. Hemp Heritage is the Greenfield paper line that we carry. And they had these made probably 20 years ago when I got this shirt. As always, down there, you can barely just see my Hempy's belt holding up my Kentucky Hemp Outfitters Carpenter jeans. That's made for the Hold Your Hammer there with that bottom pocket. Of course, my Green Springs Technology pen outside my pocket, which is usually inside my pocket when I go out. Head case boxer briefs. Greatest thing about the head case boxer briefs, and a lot of the head case hats, not this particular one, is that it has a little secret pouch. Actually, the label is actually a little secret storage spot. If you feel like you need to, hide your money, or for me, I mean, it's a great space to hide anything, honestly, because who's going to look there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a very brave person to go looking there on me. I'm so sure of that. And kick you like a mule kick, hit you like a mule kick, like Mike Tyson would say. Hemp Authority socks. I've talked a little bit about the Hemp Authority recently. You can go to their website, and they have a full line of some great hemp stuff. But that's where my socks are from. And then those are some of my Wicked hemp boots, which I need to check with Wicked to see where they are at these days, because the rumor was they were going to be releasing a new line, hopefully last fall. I'm sure that COVID and all that stuff has probably messed all that up, but we need to check and see if they haven't got a new line of hemp boots out there to be enjoyed, because their boots were developed for boot people, not for hemp people. They are, I think my favorite pair of Wicked low cut boots, my black ones. Once again, the fabric is like coming apart kind of at the seam, but for the most part, the shoes are holding together still quite nicely. So, and again, that's with a lot of wear. I probably haven't worn that particular Wicked boot. I don't. It's hard to say. A lot. One of my favorite winter shoes, and they were black, and so they went with everything. Of course, it's black goes with everything. Today, I decided to go green on a day where I really should be wearing blue, because normally, as you may or may not know if you follow the show, I am a huge fan of the Kentucky Wildcats basketball program, and normally when they play, I wear blue on that day. But I feel like I've been wearing a lot of blue and orange over the last 2 months on the show, and I did say last week, I swear I'm going to wear green, so I wore green as promised. That being said, go Big Blue. All right, let's get into a little bit of news. Not really a whole lot going on this week. I talked about this. Okay, well, sure, why not? I mean, you could stuff a mattress with anything. That's for sure, if you did it right, and that's a great idea. I mean, I could just picture even someone that manufactures some type of hemp clothing or hemp something, taking their excess scraps, stuffing that in something, making a pillow or a bed, and so I feel like the hull, if that's the herd, as we say, the hard part. Um, I think that it would give you firmness. Might be a little crunchy, even kind of crunch into your body a little bit, so to speak, if you did do that, and that's actually a hell of an idea. Um,
There you
Something that
go.
I might think about doing myself. Actually, I never even really thought about that. Oh, hemp herd stuffed mattress. Right on. Cool, cool. Um, let's see. The USDA survey results have come out, and I have serious mixed emotions about them. Is that possible? Is that possible that I can have mixed emotions about the survey that the USDA did? The big number that I've been seeing everywhere was about 825 million in sales of products, industrial hemp, and I would once again assume that that's American grown hemp products. Just and I mean, if that's true, they sold $824 million worth of hemp products to farmers or whatever. Um, that means that we did 1.5 billion, and I would, just estimating off the top of my head, at least $1 billion in retail sales. And and this is the part that I have mixed emotions about. One of the articles said that the majority of the hemp was grown for fiber and then CBD. Now, I cannot even picture Josie. No, I cannot even picture. And again, if we throw grain in, so that's the three you would grow for: fiber, grain, and CBD. Okay, so if we just start with the base 33% to average the medium in between, okay, I cannot imagine that we grew even 34% fiber and 32% CBD, which wouldn't matter because then we still grow 33% of grain, and that couldn't count. And so I just find it so very hard to believe. If that is true, that is awesome. It's purely awesome. If we are already growing more fiber in our industrial hemp farming programs in the United States than we are CBD, then I'm ecstatic about that. Because in my head, and this is the number that I always just guessed at, no facts, no, you know, rhyme or reason, was that we were growing, probably 70% for CBD, and then maybe 15 to 20% for food and grain. So 60 to 70% CBD, 20% fiber, maybe 20% grain. Um, the fact that it was fiber that supposedly outgrew CBD, again, amazing, because it really should be grain. Because I really think that, in all honesty, there's more money to be made in the grain industry, the food industry, with industrial hemp than there is in the fiber industry right now. And that's only because the fiber is just now making its way in. It started out as the whole reason we opened Temptation, but it's really I knew this would happen. The last reason, or the last thing that's going to be embraced. Because, and of course, no one saw CBD coming, but I always thought grain first because of what Canada was doing. And it just makes more sense to feed the world with this great product first. So grow more of it for grain and food product. And that's including the oil and the composites. The toothbrush doesn't get made if we don't grow for the grain. And so the composites, again, most of you know how much I love to show hemp composites, because that's one less oil, petroleum based, plastic, synthetically made product that has synthetic waste and then sits in the landfill for 500 years. That's just a terrible idea. And so, obviously, hemp composite, we don't get that without the grain. And so That's why I really, in my opinion, I can't believe. And it didn't. I haven't seen yet the numbers actually, so I haven't seen the percentages. These were just kind of some headlines and some articles that I read. I really need to find the survey results from the USDA and see what the real what is when that's if that's the case. I mean, I can only assume. I'm not a reporter, that any one of the reporters that actually wrote an article about it had the USD report looking at it, and so I don't know why I want to question that. That's for sure, but it does seem awfully odd. Just so terribly, awfully odd that fiber outdid flour in the industrial hemp industry. So, but if it's true, I cannot be any happier than I am about it, to be honest with you, because we know we have enough CBD in the world at this point. And most of the flour now is going to go to all the other extracts. You know, CBD is probably going to get harder to find somehow now. That's right. There'll still be plenty of CBD in the world. Don't worry. Um, Levi's is, and I think I sent you a picture, girl in the green.
Indeed.
I think it was,
There we
yes.
go.
Okay, so Levi's. Now this is really about the shoes that she's wearing, which is Levi's releasing what they're calling the LS1. Okay, and they're doing this in 4 color schemes. What's interesting, one thing that's interesting to me about the fact is they have described the color of untreated cotton and hemp, and of course, um, they're going to be using this cottonized hemp. So I'm hoping that the clothing is also made out of what Levi's is calling cottonized hemp for some reason, so people know it's soft and they're not picturing some hard something, which is ridiculous. But the color of untreated cotton and hemp is bright ecru, ECRU. I haven't had a chance to look and see what actually. I mean, I guess ecru is a description of a color, but officially, if you want to get the natural, what we call natural, uh, um, then you order the bright ecru version of these shoes. I think I saw like a dark blue, and I'm not sure what other colors they're going to make them in. So, but good for Levi's. Again, I really look forward to Levi's. Just continue to pump out the hemp. Just pump out. You know, it's going to be so much better for the planet and your company. In all honesty, because it's a superior product to cotton, and so you're doing your customers no favor by leaving it out of your clothing one way or another. Marie Claire, big women's magazine. The article was titled 43 Sustainable Fashion Brands. Okay, so out of the 43, five were specifically mentioned because they are using hemp in their fashion lines. And a lot of times with the pictures and the fashion that they showed, I didn't know if it was actually part of their hemp line or just because they're using hemp and blah, 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 other stuff. But the fact of the matter is Alaya Wanik brand, Harley J Designs, Orejas, Orejas, Valinas, and Chelsea Bravo were all specifically mentioned. And these are fashion. And, you know, I'm the first one to tell you that there is no fashion. Most of the fashion industry is not for the everyday person. I love it that hemp is becoming, you know, and it's always been there. It's always been there. For those that have been eco-friendly and conscious about hemp as a fiber and understand its tradition in clothing, thousands of years. I think the oldest hemp dress was like 2,500 years old, if I remember correctly. Um, and so, again, hemp has been a part of fashion, if you want to call it fashion, for a long time. Usually, when you hear the word fashion, in my head, what I hear is overpriced and clothing that if the average person wore it, their friends would make fun of them. No offense to the fashion industry, but that's usually the case. Again, I commend the ones that use these eco-friendly fibers to show the rest of the world that these eco-friendly fibers should be used. Um, um, but most of the fashion, but again, that's a pretty good amount that were mentioned. I will say a couple of them I think were almost uh, skeptic. I was skeptic about because, like, if they said we use all natural fibers like cotton and silk, and I'm like, well, okay, if it's not organic cotton, it's not that is not sustainable because cotton is the leading user of chemicals in the world, and silk, if you want to call it natural to kill the spiders to get the fiber, then I guess silk is natural. But in my opinion, because this has been brought up to me before, well, what about silk? Is it stronger than silk? And I'm like, I don't look at killing the animal that made the fiber as being natural. Okay. And my understanding is now, if someone wants to correct me if I'm wrong, they can. But my understanding is I think the spiders get boiled with the silk when they make the silk. And so again, if I'm wrong there, if all the spiders are shooed off, and then the silk is taken, go into the other corner and make some more silk for us, and then the silk is taken, um, and done with whatever it's done with to make it into the nice silky fiber that it is. But then I am 100% wrong, and silk is the strongest natural fiber on the planet. I don't think that I'm wrong, from my understanding in the process of getting the silk fiber. And again, the spider shouldn't have to lose its life for it to be. It can't be natural if the spider loses its life, in my opinion. That's not natural. That's not natural. So anyway, um, this is super super cool. A company called Generation Hemp Inc. and Gas Monkey Garage, and I'm not sure who they are, is going to launch a hemp herd product to absorb spills. We actually had we may still have some. I don't know if anybody really wanted to use it or not, but we actually had cat litter, so to speak, that was hemp herd. I just did a article or talked about an article. I'm pretty sure. If I didn't, then this may be all part of it, where they were going to use hemp herd to absorb oil to clean up a spill. And so, it should do a pretty good job, I suppose. And then, of course, what you do with that waste, you can clean it up and hopefully you dispose of that waste. Because just because it's hemp doesn't mean you can throw that waste in the trash, because it's still oil or gasoline or whatever it is that you may or may not be using. What's up, Beach? What you may or may not be using to clean up the oil with or for. But kitty litter, ironically, is probably stuff like kitty litter is what's used now. I don't know. I don't know. What I would like to hope for is that product then gets collected and possibly used in some type of oil burning system. There are oil burning systems where you can throw any kind of oil in there and burn it for heat. It's probably, I'm sure the exhaust isn't the best, so to speak, and hopefully be some type of filtration. But combustion sometimes is the best way to destroy things. We shouldn't make our electricity from combustion, but sometimes when it comes to waste, combustion is the best way to destroy the waste. So, I would think that oil-soaked hemp herds should be good for that. probably just going to some special vat from some company that collects all this waste oil, which is good. Again, it's better that someone's collecting it than it's going, 30 years ago, the mechanic and all, I mean, all this stuff just went down the drain. And 20 years ago, we thought we shouldn't do that. And now, there's plenty of businesses um, that collect that stuff because it shouldn't just go down the drain. Your motor oil from your oil change should, and again, that's what we did. That's what we did. That's what happened for the most part. If you waste management on the guise of oils and things like that was probably very few and far between. And even then, whoever probably might have collected that stuff probably just took it back and dumped it in the ground because there were no laws that said they couldn't, or no, conscience that said they shouldn't. Even though what a ridiculous idea that is. So I really look forward to this Gas Monkey Garage. I'm assuming that they're the ones producing the product or bagging it up, so to speak, and selling it to the consumers. Generation Hemp Inc. is providing them probably with that hemp to do that because it is something that it is to absorb. It does work well, and it is something natural and sustainable that we can use to absorb oil spills for sure. I know I've showed Pangea's clothing line before. This is their new hemp workwear line. I'm not convinced whether this is. I'm really hoping it's kind of a unisex. I don't know if they make a men's or women's line. I don't know why. The natural colored one makes sense. White for workwear seems like an unlikely idea. Does that mean I can't do my work after Labor Day? But anyway, all jokes aside, this is a clothing company that has incorporated hemp into their clothing line, and this is the newest one. And it is, of course, a great idea that your workwear be made of hemp, the strongest natural fiber on the planet. Why wouldn't you? This last little bit of news and picture comes from Macy's. Actually, Macy's is going to pick up.
I do not have any pictures.
Oh no, I don't have the picture of the loungewear. Man, what a bummer.
Indeed.
Well, Google Colombian brand Star Dog. It's the Star Dog loungewear. But Macy's, you should be able to go and find out whether it's on Macy's website or not. Or possibly if you have a Macy's close to you, you might even be able to go in and try it on if you want. But Macy's is picking up this line of clothing. Now, this is the first line of clothing that Macy's has picked up. It's not the first hemp products. Macy's currently sells personal care, body products, and linens. I'm pretty sure I've sent you to possibly the Macy's website for a sheet set that they had. I'm not positive on that. But they do have, and it did admit to having, that might be it. Is that yeah, okay, you found it? Yep.
Loungewear, yes, from
yeah. Yeah, there you go. And so, good for Macy's once again when these large department stores, which are online more than they're department stores anymore. I don't even know if Macy's was even a department store. I guess it was, or still is. Moving towards once again these eco-friendly hemp, sustainable hemp clothing is it's a good move. Again, especially if they want to keep up with the Utes, because regardless of what people think, I do think that most of a lot of the young people are on board. The younger people are on board with a cleaner planet. they're kind of done with the pollution thing and the abuse that we put on the planet. We still have unbelievable leaps and bounds every day, and that's why we're here every Wednesday at high noon with the High Noon Hemp Show. Until we're there, you're going to have to get used to me being here. It seems like there's no end, and there is no end. We're a long time away from me saying, okay, I've reported on every hemp product that's being made or ever will be made. We're just at the beginning again for the, I don't know, second, third, fourth time in 10,000 years. It's really hard to say. It goes back 10,000, and we see huge use 6 to 5,000 years ago. We see paper invented from it 2,000 years ago. And now we're just somehow making it legal again so we can make all this stuff out of it again. Craziness indeed. But continuing to move forward, no doubt. Let's see, we got a couple events, not really much going on, and then we'll get you guys on your way. Let's see, February 28th, March 1st, we've got this virtual. It's finally here, getting very close. The virtual event at the Institute for Advanced Learning out of Danville at the Industrial Hemp Summit is going virtual. You can find more information on that online, I'm sure. Also, February 28th, if you want to be somewhere, February 28th through March 1st, you have the Industrial Hemp Summit celebrating its 5th anniversary at the North Carolina Biotechnology Center in Durham, North Carolina. March 1st through the 2nd, you have the Indigenous Hemp Conference. Now, I believe that's, if you Google Winona's Hemp, that's going on. And then finally, just in a couple weeks, 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks, I guess, about a month, you got the NOCO out in Denver. And again, March 23rd through the 25th. I'll say it once, I'll say it 100 times until someone else proves me wrong. NOCO is the largest industrial hemp anything that has ever existed and may ever exist, to be honest with you. Worldwide. We went to one of the very early NOCOs. It's probably been almost 5 years ago. I don't think 2018 had been signed yet. Possibly, or it might have been right around there. It seems like a while, not too long. And again, just unbelievable at the time what they were putting together as far as an event between all the vendors, the hemp food. Just unbelievable. And then, of course, that was when it was at the small location and has since moved to Denver into the large location. And so I can't even imagine how overwhelming it may be now. I have to say I was even a little overwhelmed. Not really. I'm just kidding. I was very proud of what was going on. I was very proud of the non-CBD hemp people that were there, the hemp food that they were offering that was there, because it was. I don't want to say majority of CBD even then, but anyway. But they have continued to promote all parts of the industrial hemp. That's where I first met up with the Victory Hemp Foods and was buying their product when we could put it on the shelf. They've gotten so big now that they don't sell to retail anymore. They only sell in bulk. And again, American grown hemp. And they are becoming a huge player in the hemp foods industry, which is, again, still very, very small. Still so very, very small in the United States as far as people using hemp in food products, and especially buying American grown hemp when they can. So, all right, there you have it. All the news that's fit to print because I did finally print it out. And all that other good stuff here on the High Noon Hemp Show. We sure appreciate you watching live. If you watch live, thank you very much. If you are watching non-live, thank you very much. Maybe you're on the podcast and you can't see me waving. This is my queen. I'm doing the queen wave. I'm thanking you very much.
See what you're missing? You gotta
What
watch this.
you're missing? That's right. I'm not much to look at, but everything else is pretty exciting.
That's right. Stuff.
And remember, folks, reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations.
See y'all next week.